Hey, yo, what's up, man? This your man, Mr. Rick. We already know what's going on. It's love God, love yourself, love people. And so we are, I'm just riding, man. I just felt the need to go live. Something just happened. One of the things just happened, and I'll talk about it briefly before we actually headed to lunch with this guy. So yeah, we're about to go to lunch. But something just happened. Something just hit my spirit. And it's good. It's teaching me. It has taught me, and I'm learning, right? And so it's teaching me. It has taught me, but at the same time, I'm still learning. I've said it again because I know a lot of people don't understand that. It's teaching me, right? It has taught me, but I'm still learning, right? I think a lot of times when God places us in position of being influential in somebody's life, right? Whether that's whatever, whether you're visiting, whether you're babysitting, whether you're doing what some people call charity work, or you're just doing work from your heart that God gives you. One of the things that happens is we have a hard time. I had a hard time, and sometimes have a hard time with understanding when that assignment is completed. The reason why is because when God gives you assignment, God has the dates. He has the beginning date. He has the end date. He has all of the instructions of what you're supposed to be doing within that time and within that season or time span of that assignment, if I'm making sense, right? But what we do, because of the heart that God has blessed us with, we have a hard time hearing God after He gives us the assignment, right? So once He gives us the assignment and He begins to help us navigate through the assignment, and once the heart side is over, because everything that you usually start is kind of difficult, but once we get to a place where we're flowing and it's working, now it get hard for us to hear, right? So what God is doing, He's elevated your level. He's built the connections, and He did all of these things because He had an assignment for your life. I pray I'm talking to somebody. But usually what happens when God's assignment is completed through you to whatever you're supposed to be doing, there's a separation, or what we would call a disconnection, right? And the problem is we're still trying to operate connect, but God is trying to disconnect, right? Because our heart, and watch this, that's not wrong. It's not wrong to love, right? It's not wrong to give. It's not wrong to be there, but it is wrong to operate doing the same assignment outside of your assigned day, your assigned time. Right? And so if God has given you the assignment, now that the assignment is completed, you have to be willing enough to go to God and say, listen, God, listen, give me another assignment. Or God, what am I supposed to be doing? Why is this not working? Why is there so much tension? Why is there so much friction? And a lot of times God will call people. God would call people to aggravate you, right? God would call people, God would call you to start annoying people. And you're saying, God, listen, I was just doing this and I'm doing it from my heart. And everything is going crazy. And God will say, okay, cool, listen to what I'm saying. That assignment in your life or in this time is completed. But we're so conditioned with continue to do, and God is still saying no. So now what starts to happen, the same thing that used to bring you joy, now it's bringing chaos, it bringing confusion, it bringing misunderstanding, it bringing all of these things because you still want to, I'm talking to me, right? And I'm definitely talking to me. And so because you misunderstand that, listen, God said, I have another assignment for you. And what we're still doing backwards work. That preaching good. We're still doing backwards work, right? And that, watch this, and it's not wrong, right? The reason why, because your heart is so for God. It's like, God, I know you told me to do this. And God said, yes, I did tell you to do that. But now I'm telling you to do something else. And I can't fully get you to understand what I'm telling you to do unless, watch this, unless I cause some chaos. Unless I cause some confusion, unless I cause you to go against the grain, right? Because I'm going to call you to go against the grain of what I told you to do before. And now you understand why it's not working. So now you are probably a nuisance, right? And so when you become a nuisance, you got to go to God and say, God, why am I bothering people? Right? And He said, because that assignment is up. And so now what you have to do is learn how to disconnect and reconnect with what you're supposed to be connected to. I like that. Right? Now you got to learn how to disconnect and reconnect in what you're supposed to be doing on this next level, right? Because there's somebody that's struggling because you're out of place. There's somebody's life that is actually going through hell because you're out of place. There's somebody that's dying because you won't open your mouth. And God is saying, listen, I've told you to talk to them, but watch this, you're so comfortable in the old assignment to where you won't allow me to move. And so because you won't allow me to move, I'm going to send somebody to annoy you. Watch this, Rick, talk I will. I'm going to send somebody that's going to give a bad review about you. I'm going to send somebody that's going to post you. Watch this. I'm going to send somebody that's going to scandalize your name. I'm going to send somebody that's going to try to call harm to you. Why? Because you can't hear anymore. And so what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, leaders, people that love God and call to the ministry, call to the fivefold, or just call to people, we got to learn how to be so in tune with God to where when the assignment is over, we got to say, you know what? I know this assignment is over, and God, I don't want to let it go. Because I love what you've shown me. I love the life that you've given these individuals. These people were dead before we met, but God, now they're living. I want to be there, but God is saying, I need you somewhere else. Don't let your next assignment die because, watch this, don't let your next assignment die because you're still trying to restore what God has already took away from you. Don't let your next assignment die because you're putting things in your old assignment that should be dead. I'm preaching already. So sometimes God gonna have you in a place with people. He's gonna call you just to be light for a minute, and God's gonna separate you, and you're gonna look at those people and you're gonna feel like, man, they ain't doing it without me. They ain't doing it better than I would. And you're right, because the Spirit of God have left that assignment, right? And so we gotta be so careful, right? When it's up, it's up, right? When it's over, it's over. That don't mean I don't love you. That don't mean I don't care for you. That means I can't spend so much time pouring into you because that assignment is over. That timing is up. Right? Get what you need while you can, because you may not have it long. That's one of the things with me being a mentor, man. My mentor told me that one year. He said, Rick, he said, man, get out. He said, get everything out of me that you need to get, because I don't know how long I'm going to be with you. Well, at that time, I wasn't ready to receive that. This was my first time getting a mentor, and I asked him, I said, man, are you going to die? He said, no, I'm not going to die. He said, I just don't know how long we're going to be together. Right? I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to pour into your life like this. I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to answer your phone calls every time you call. I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to comfort you when you cry. I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to give you inspirational word because you're hard-headed. I just don't know. So he said, get out of me everything you need while you got me. And I promise you, when the time passes, it's over. And so what we've got to start doing that, man, I promise you, bro, a lot of us is still living we're still living in grief, and there's nothing wrong with grief. But we got to understand there's what, 5 to 6 different stages of grief. Grief is not be always sitting in a dark room. Grief is saying, I'm upset, but now I'm anxious, I'm angry, right? I'm bothering. There's a lot of stuff. And what God is doing, he's calling us to connect with folk. We want to connect with the people that we've been connected with. And God has said, I've already disconnected you. That's the reason your behind can't go further. Why am I talking like this? I feel it needs to be said. And we wonder why everybody else is growing. Everybody else is going. The reason why, because they understand the assignment. I understood the assignment. You don't keep taking the same till you take the test to pass. No one goes to college and keep taking the same test, the same assignment, getting the same grade. I pass. Why you keep passing the same thing? Pass the thing and get on with the next one, or fail and take it again. I should keep failing at the same thing. But because our heart is so postured towards God, a lot of us, and some of us are just dang stubborn. What do we want to do? I was talking about the heart being postured toward God to the saints and the one that God is leading. But a lot of us is hard-headed. We don't want to listen to nobody. We're arrogant. Can't nobody tell us nothing. That's the reason we're struggling. Why am I here? I'm here. Right? And God is saying, listen, I've sent you people. I've sent you help. But you're still doing the old. And the old has passed. Listen, I'm excited. I ain't been alive in a while, so I guess y'all have to excuse me. Now, don't excuse me. Share it if it's going to help somebody. God, listen, God never calls you to be on the same assignment for the rest of your life. If God has only given you one assignment, that's because you're hard-headed and you won't listen. You got people's lives that's attached to you. You got all this energy. You got all this, because everybody big on energy now. Whoo, your energy. You got all this energy. You got all this prestige. You got all this money. You got all this fame. You got all this influence, and you talking to yourself and you buying stuff for yourself. You flexing for yourself. The reason why? Because can't nobody deal with you. Because your heart is not positive, because it's all about you. It got to be about me. It's about there. Huh? Man, you better give that glory to God and keep moving. And stop tracking what people say about you. Who cares? They supposed to talk about you, bro. If they ain't talking about you, you ain't moving. I promise you. But we're so concerned with the foolishness. So we got little girls and young men and young ladies watching us, and we're on the internet battling about some foolishness. And this young girl or young man, this young girl probably been molested. This young guy he's being molested or he's being beat. And we sitting our silly behinds up, grown. I'm talking to the grown folk now. We sitting our silly behinds up, bickering and arguing. I started to cuss. No, I didn't. Shoulda. Right? And you wonder why our generation is like the way they are. They can't talk to your behind. Right? You get mad because they on my Instagram and I ain't the best. I promise you. I'm praying. You get mad. What you listen to him for? What? Because I can't talk to you. Because I see your life. I'm preaching to somebody, mama and daddy. Right? We got to live the life before them. Listen, I promise you, Doc. I'm going to go ahead and say this now and y'all share this. The only king, right, that I am is to this guy. Right? That's it. He's the only one that I have to, I'm over him as king. You know what I'm saying? Somebody he's looking up to. When I'm with everybody else, I'm just a regular man. This is who I'm trying to make sure he understands. This is who I'm putting my effort in to make sure he grows up and be what he need to be. This is the only one that I'm trying to impress. I don't care nothing about how you feel. I promise you, Doc, I don't care nothing about how you feel. I don't care nothing about what you're saying. I really don't care nothing about what you think. If it's negatively, it have nothing to do with God. You know why? Because he's the only one that I'm trying to impress. I got another man about to graduate Thursday. He's the only one that I'm trying to impress. And the reason I'm trying to impress them because I'm trying to be a good leader before them. I can care what your nappy head, how your nappy head feel about what God is doing with me, because I'm not doing nothing. Why am I right here? I don't know, but I am. I promise you, man, there's so many kids that need what you have, but you're wasting time. You're wasting words. You're doing more gospel than your children. You cutting up more than your kids, and you wonder why your child is crazy. You know why? Because look at you. I don't know who. If the shoe fit, wear, and if it don't, take it off. Right? And God is saying, listen, I have an assignment. I have an assignment for your life. I have an attachment for your life. I have purpose in your life. But I'll grown behind on Facebook arguing with folk that we should be in business with. Why am I here? I don't know, but I am. I got to get out of here. See, I ain't been live in a minute. He been had me ever since August the 1st. But understand the assignment. That's what all the title is. Understand the assignment. And I'm understanding my assignment. I'm learning my assignment. I ain't got it together. I promise you. I guarantee I don't. I really, really don't. But he does. He does. And when you spend time with him and tie into him and say, God, you got to help me with this because I don't get it. He does it. But you got to lose yourself. But yeah. And I know you're watching. The assignment is over. I stayed in the assignment too long. I really did. Because my heart was attached to the assignment. I stayed in the assignment way too long. And I'm just realizing now that assignment is complete. I promise you, I got it. That's because I love God with everything. But when you love God with everything, you have a problem disconnecting. The reason you have the problem disconnecting is because your heart is pure. Got no ill feeling with you. I read the post. But that assignment has been completed. Listen, I got to go now because I don't want to get in myself, my flesh. But listen, I love y'all, man. But understand the assignment. I promise you, God has so much inside of you. And even if you know what they said, don't respond to what they said. Because they're looking for you to respond. Just keep being the prophet of God and keep walking. They'll see.